Hey Noelle, I'm outside and everybody's asleep, and I totally apologize in advance if the dogs start barking, because I was like, I come outside because it's so nice, and I haven't even watched your video yet, but I just had this epiphany revelation thing, and I was just like, I'm really frustrated with myself. It's good. I mean, it's not good that I'm frustrated with myself. It's good that I had this epiphany. It's good that I had this revelation, because now I can move forward and maybe things will change. They should change. That is going to be the goal, the point, and this will definitely be like a writing tangent. I saw the title of your video, and I think it said my best writing advice and writing tangent, and I sort of laughed, and I'm really excited to see it, but I had to get this off my chest for myself. Because, alright, so I don't even know where to start exactly, but I ordered some manga, which is awesome, and I'm usually always looking at manga and thinking about manga and just manga. And I realized, manga itself is not bad. Manga as a whole is not bad. Not talking about genres or anything like that, but just, I'm talking about, manga in general. Just the preference book manga. Or books. And I just had it somewhere in me that I felt writing was not as fun as books, especially when it comes to manga. But here is the thing. I want to see my stories published. So what am I going to do? Am I going to keep going down this path where I'm going to be thinking about all the manga that I want, the manga that I want to read, or am I going to start thinking about my stories, and rather than thinking, man, I really wish this story would write itself, man, I really wish this book, my manga, was published. What am I going to do? And so, I had this epiphany this morning where I was, frustrated that I was why is it in any kind of community, the manga community, the writing community, the book community, whatever kind of community, that we are so prone to compare ourselves to other people, to see what they are doing and think, man, I wish I was like this person, which I think is sort of a natural kind of thing that we feel in general. But here's where the problem comes in. When you're so focused, something just in my face, when you're so focused on what they're doing that you miss the things that you have yourself. And I was thinking about my manga. I was like, okay, why am I always wanting manga? Outside of just wanting to support manga creators, just to read the manga and whatnot. What is my driving force for wanting to buy all this manga? I don't think there's anything, like I said, wrong with manga. I don't think there's anything wrong looking at manga, but it's becoming obsessive, and I feel like it's obsessive in a negative way, because at the heart of it, it is me comparing that I wish my manga collection was like theirs. Or, even worse, something I struggle with a lot of the times, and I hope this wind is not affecting my sound quality, because I'll be more mad. But I realized at the heart of it was expectations. As someone who's claiming to be a manga tuber, who is making plans to be one and is one, I expect that I should be getting all of the latest manga that I want, and that I'm, doing these things because it's expected of me. Nobody has put those expectations on me but me. I'm putting it there, and it's not the first time I've done it. It's probably not, unfortunately, going to be the last time that I will do it. But it's got to stop. It's got to stop. And the only person who can stop this cycle is moi again. And because I was just okay, I bought manga last night. I was really, really excited. I found there's a library series, or there's a manga series that my library has. It's called Crimson Hero. It's a volleyball series. I really wanted to read it. It's been recommended to me, and as loving volleyball, I'm yes, I should read it. I want to read it. It'd be great, just inspiration for my own volleyball series, and just probably just awesome to read. But they were missing 2 volumes. And so my husband was like, hey, why don't you go on Thrift Books, because you're telling me that you can get really good deals there. And we went on there, and I was like, I'm just going to look at some of the manga that I've wanted to get, and I found it in like new condition. It since it's an out of print series, usually it's $22 for a copy, especially I think volume 11, or you can get one for $2 and it's in horrible condition. And I was like, okay, I sort of prefer to have a new condition if possible, and I found 2 volumes. So I was really, really excited. And so I got them. And I got a kid's book for my youngest. And then this morning, I got another manga, but it's my first Japanese manga, and I'm so excited because it is like a spin-off of haiku, and it's like a 4-panel one, and oh my goodness, like I'm just ecstatic. Even though the other haiku fans beat me to getting the first volume. The dogs are barking. But yes, I wanted the first volume. I couldn't get it, so I actually got the 3rd volume because it was the only one they had available. Deep breath, Laura. Deep breath. Anyway, we're moving on. So I got that. And then I was notified of a manga sale specifically. And then just all of these chaotic thoughts of what I shared earlier were just coming through my head. And I'm like, Laura, you realize you're just getting manga because you feel it's expected to get the manga. Knowing when rewind, just this morning I was telling Hong, I said, it's more meaningful to get a volume of a manga that I'm really anticipating, that I'm really looking forward to, than buying all of the manga together and not appreciating it. And I'm just saying, like, Laura, like, did you forget your own words this morning when I was on Amazon before this video looking at more manga? And I'm like, Laura, you have bought all this manga. And I like to think that I am a growing or aspiring manga collector. And how am I tying this all into writing? This is just a rhetorical question. But can you, and it's more that I'm struggling with, can you be a manga collector and be a manga creator who cannot draw, or I can draw, or cannot illustrate your manga? Can you be both of them? No. And I'm sure people would argue that. You might even be thinking, yes, you can. Financially wise, no, I'm personally right now, financially, I cannot be in both places. And I feel like I am still believing the lie that writing is not fun. And that was the number one advice given to me as a growing writer over the years, was to have fun. And that was honestly something I could not fathom. I could not even imagine having fun writing, because personally, I don't know exactly where it came from, but I felt called, I felt God put on my heart to be a writer. It was not something I aspired to be in my life. I had aspired to be a teacher and a few other things, but writing was never one of them. Collecting books and being paid to read books was definitely one of them. And I remember telling somebody at Taco Bell that. But writing, no, it was not one of them. And I don't know. I guess somewhere in my mind, I thought that if you're doing God's will, that you're doing what God puts on your heart, that you won't have fun. That just sounds so awful, does it not? Yes, in life, not just serving God, but in life, some things are just hard. Writing is not always fun. And I had a breakthrough, thanks to my notes from one of your videos, that writing, just like writing the first draft, is a lot of fun. It's easier, I do it faster, but editing is like a drag, or it feels like that. But last night I edited and it was slow, but it was there. I edit those words and I was so excited. I was like, this isn't much. This is probably 50 words, but I'm really happy with this 50 words. And that means we are closer to publishing these 50 words and the other words with it. And I'm just disappointed that I've still believed that writing cannot be fun, that writing is something to be taken seriously, and yes, it is, but it should not be an enjoyable process. And that just speaks so much to me as a Christian. Following God, is just not something that is boring or something that can never be enjoyed. That's horrible for any person of any faith to believe that they can't practice their faith in a fun way, because we enjoy entertainment as human beings, and there are hard parts to any faith, but I'm sad at this point now. I feel like I came in this video angry, and now I'm just disappointed and sad, because I never want to look at writing, which I feel is a gift to me personally, as something that I can never enjoy. because I look at my manga bookshelf and I look at my stories and man, I want them published. And part of why the Spite story, as we called it, was formed was because it sounded fun. And the light novels I've read are fun. And I want that. I want my writing to be fun. I want it to be enjoyable. Yes, even if it's hard, I still want to enjoy it because it's a gift, because I could be doing something I hate. And I'm in an opportunity, I'm in a time and place where I can write. I can not stay home and write all day per se, but I can be at home, and if I get inspired to write 100 words like I did late last week in the morning, then I can write them down. I don't have to worry about a boss saying, you can't do this right now. You should be out there on the floor doing what you're supposed to do. Or you should be making more tacos, not in the bathroom. I've never done that, okay? I've never snuck off to the bathroom at my old job to write. I wasn't even writing at that time, but that just makes me laugh to think about it now. So I felt like this morning when I was mad and just all of this, I feel like just for so long that my brain has associated reading as fun, that my brain wants more of that. It wants more of what's making it fun, and that is manga, that is books. And I'm very, very passionate about helping authors, encouraging authors, serving authors, and I fully believe I can still do that. That doesn't require buying all the books though and spending all of the money on things that I have books at home that I can read that I should be reading before I go out and spend all of the money on more books. And that writing hole in my heart is still there though. It's still there and it's begging to be acknowledged. And I feel like I've sort of ignored that. And just so much of a waking up this morning, not literally and figuratively, where I want to start new. I want to start with a new mindset. I want to, yes, I want to view my writing as fun, but even deeper than that, I want to move forward in a writer mindset. I want to publish my stories. I want to have the funds to do that. And I don't want to look back and see my own bookcase and see it of all the other stories I filled up, but none of my own. And not only that, but that I got those because I felt it was expected of me to do that. And there was just a quote it was a Japanese proverb that I just read this morning. It really hit me that to be oneself is like to act naturally or something. I feel like I just butchered that Japanese quote. I'm so sad. Because I just realized that wasn't the proverb. That was another proverb that I liked because I was looking up Japanese proverbs for something this morning. Just mainly, being us, genuinely us, and our actions being genuine rather than coming from expectation is so much more enjoyable. And writing should be that way too. I feel like I've gone a little bit off the path of originally what I wanted to talk about when I came. I said what I wanted to say when I came to start this video, but now I'm trying to think, let's bring it back, Laura. Let's bring it back. Where are we going here? Let's think about this. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I was talking about just the writing hole and the reading hole, and I feel like I need to change my mindset. I want to move forward with, yes, I can get manga. But man, I need to have a future outlook kind of thing where Laura, you want this light novel written. You want it published. I want to hold my light novel, not just my manga stories, but for some reason it feels really important to me, to write this light novel. Maybe it's because I believed more lies about myself that I can never write anything but manga because I felt that was the only thing I was good at writing. But the more this writing adventure and journey has grown and changed and things have not gone as planned, just the more I'm man, it's just, don't hold yourself back believing little lies. And that's what they are. They seem little, but then they become bigger and then they hold you back. And suddenly you're wrapped up in these doubts and you're how did we even get here? And I feel like that's where I'm at. I feel like I'm having that awakening moment of, either I'm a writer or I'm a manga collector. Yes, I am both. But which one is going to get more of my time? Which one am I going to give my finances to? Which one am I going to give my more focus to? And I really want that to be writing. Of course, I want to keep getting manga, but that is what the library is for. I have a really epic library where I live, where you can get a variety of manga from multiple branches. I need to make use of that, save the money I have, and go pour it into hopefully future illustrations for my light novel. Not really sure what to say after all that. I feel like I need to learn, I need to grow, and praise God, I've had this revelation, this eye-opening moment, and I want to make time, and I've said it in the past, I know for certain I have, to make more time to write. But I was not in that place. I wasn't in that headspace. I was thinking from a place of expectation. It's starting to rain, so I might have to go in a few minutes or go up under this tree right next to me. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm not sure if this is like any better, so we're just going to see what happens, okay? But I forget what I was even saying because I was like, oh, I moved and I lost my train of thought. I feel like this is definitely a tangent/rant. But man, good things are in store. And I have always struggled with the looking to the future rather than thinking in the moment. And I don't think there's anything wrong thinking in the moment. I'm very impulsive in my creative journey. And I know that's okay. But moving forward, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You know, I want to make changes. And that's a rhetorical question. That's just sort of a question to myself that I'm asking out loud. But you might answer it in your video. I don't know. But man, it's embracing the journey. And I guess rather than being frustrated at myself that I'm just now realizing this, that man, I should give myself grace and go forward in joy and excitement and discovery. You know, just like how it was when I was editing last night, realizing, man, this is my editing process and it's slow, but it is worth it. Just like collecting manga. It could be slow, but man, it's worth it when you finally get that one volume you've been waiting for like months to get, and then you get it, and like, it's amazing. You appreciate it so much more. And I want to appreciate my writing more. I want to appreciate my books more rather than thinking I need to be doing this because of a certain expectation. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you just always sharing your thoughts, and you're like, I know we did this to keep in touch, but it's really funny because you're definitely like in a writing mentor, writing coach kind of position with all the awesome advice that you're giving. So I'm going to think about this afternoon what I shared with you. I wrote down some notes beforehand, things that I wanted to personally remember, and my video said that I had no more space, so I'm going to cut it to an end. So anyway, I look forward to hearing you. Thanks so much for listening to my rather passionate tangent here at the beginning. Can't wait to hear from you. Bye!